Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. Natural gas getting rejected by that middle VWAP once again. It's been doing this pretty much all during extended hours, pre-market hours, right? I talked about this under the trade ideas section, so I've been really struggling to sleep. I almost fell asleep, and then my alarm went off that I had to go live, so that was great. But I was doing really well. So I am down on my current position, up overall on the day. I was up nearly $1,200 at one point. As of right now, I am down just a little bit. Well, not just a little bit, but I did not buy at the best price point. Here we go. So it looks like it's actually starting to sell off. So overall on the day, I'm up $852. I can't wait. That's not correct. This is not correct. I'm up $522. I'm not too sure why it's saying that. I have my overall P&L in the day on my phone right here. And yeah, that's a little weird. I'm definitely not up that much as of right now because of how much I'm down on this position on ticker symbol UGAS. So let me go ahead and pop this thing up real quick. Here we go. So I'm down $682. Is that correct? No. Okay. Yeah, this is not correct either. Wow. Okay. No, okay, this is correct. I do apologize. So right now we're showing signs of a sell-off. It's getting rejected by this overall SMA indicator. Let me go ahead and pop this thing up. So as of right now, we're making lower lows. Again, it's been trading between the middle and bottom VWAP, showing signs of a descending pattern. I did pretty well today when it came down to my overall position on DGAS. That's really where I made a majority of the money and performed really, really well with that. Now, when it comes down to the overall position on ticker symbol UGAS, this is where you guys tend to be like my bread and butter. It might just be as of right now that I'm down, but it is showing signs of a sell-off. Again, we're approaching this general area from the low 140s, which tends to be a pretty solid support based off previous patterns. And based on how high it's gone as of yesterday, hitting around like the 155s, 160s, even the highs 167. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time for it to identify its direction. My entry point was pretty much like what sucked today. So TQQ possible day trade today. Yeah, let's go ahead and break all these things down. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in, and yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy the stream and we can kind of go from there. So again, I'm watching natural gas pretty closely as of right now. Yeah, it's selling off, and most likely, let's see, give it a little bit more time. But yeah, as of right now, it's showing signs of a sell-off. We can set another alert and see kind of where we could expect a reversal. But yeah, this thing is pushing down pretty aggressively. Let's check this out. Here we go. There we go. DGAS just broke above its resistance. Boom. Watch out for that resistance right around $54. It really struggled during pre-market hours to hit above that specific price point. RSI is becoming a little bit more on the overextended side, but the MACD is still in DGAS's favor. Overall direction of the day, as a day trade, as of right now, it's DGAS that is showing signs of an uptrend. Do we all see this? Overall SMA line is pointing up. Overall, higher highs and higher lows. The direction is in favor of DGAS. It's quite the opposite of what it was showing yesterday, right? When it began to like aggressively sell off and then kind of like just reverse throughout the better half of the day. So as of right now, still showing signs of it being bullish on the day. Overall, taking into consideration the price point of where it's at right now. Again, it's just a little bit more on the overbought side. So it makes sense on why this thing can pull back. So, let's not be afraid to lock in profits if you are comfortable with where it is that you guys are at. So, see, there it goes. Here we go. SQs selling off, showing signs of a sell-off ever since as of yesterday, getting rejected by that SMA indicator. So we're consolidating right around that SMA indicator. We might see a change of direction, But as of right now, I wouldn't really hope on that. It's been a continuous downward pattern. It has gone above the overall SMA line, but then continuously gets rejected. So it would make more sense on why TQQ would be possibly a better thing to watch as of right now. If I'm not mistaken, it's also been showing signs of a potential reversal. So we might have a green day ahead of us when it comes down to that specific position. But yeah, let's see. What else do you guys want me to break down for you? Up 4K from yesterday to today. Congrats, Jose. Super happy to hear that. Here we go. Here comes a potential reversal on natural gas. Overall, a sending up trend pattern, right? Resistance here that we've talked about multiple times. Overall support here for /NG. Again, it doesn't have to bounce here, but just something that I want you guys to be aware of, right? It's great to be aware of certain and different factors that might act as a catalyst to, maybe be in favor of natural gas. So maybe why we shouldn't hold degas, right, over the weekend, or just hold it in general. So yeah, let's see what you guys have to say. /CL. Okay, went from negative 700 to plus 200 with degas since yesterday. Let's not make that same mistake again. Yep. Again, just a friendly reminder. You could always get back in. I know it's a really hard thing to do, to cut losses, but just ask yourself, again, if you just cut losses quick and then you could always revisit and get back in at a better price point, are you going to feel much more confident and reassured and not feel like you were dragged along for a roller coaster ride the entire time, right? So here we go. Let's check this out. Good morning, good morning. What's going on, Chris? Whenever you started, did you ever blow up your account? Of course. I don't know if you ever saw, like, when I first got started with $3,500 and then I went to paper trading. It's because I was really focusing on penny stocks though. So I know a lot of you guys don't trade penny stocks. I had a very strong focus in penny stocks, and unfortunately, it just wasn't in my favor. So I took a little bit of time to dedicate to. I still traded penny stocks shortly after, but I just did it in a different way, and I practiced for a lot longer. So yeah. Waiting for that UGAS reversal. Yes. Waiting patiently. JDST. Do we have to put in the ticker call out format? Yes, we do. Did you try to use more of the fundamental school of thought on penny stocks? No, not really. It was more momentum based, but it was really hard to identify when to enter and when to exit when there's so much hype and manipulation and the stocks can move so quickly, especially when you're maybe not as well versed in how to buy and how to sell quick enough. So yeah, it was all like a learning experience. What was the biggest mistake that you learned? It sounds dumb, but it's even something that I struggle with today, and I've been completely transparent about it before. There's two things that I struggle with the most, and it's over trading, and it's managing my risk. So sometimes I'm not as quick because I focus a little bit more on a break of pattern on when I decide to cut losses. That I tend to sometimes struggle with cutting losses right away, and I try to give it a little bit more time for it to fully reverse. Usually it's in my favor, but then there's some times where like drip, for example, for those that have been with Learn Plan Profit for some time, it was earlier this year where I just really struggled to cut my losses on ticker symbol drip when it was aggressively selling off. So just because of that, it could really discourage you, especially if you're someone that is just getting started or doesn't really have a track record and can like grow in your account, right? So yeah, I would say managing risk and just the overall idea of one knowing to walk away when you're green, right? To not overdo it. So the over trading part is something that I'm getting much better at. The managing risk part is something that, again, I still continue to work with every single day. So. Can you explain the green band / line that you have on your chart? It's called the SMA line. If you're part of the Learn Plan Profit course, which you should be, I have a video talking about what it means, how I set it up, and stuff like that. So again, just a friendly reminder, if it's not too much to ask, if you are part of Learn Plan Profit, which all of you guys should be, you need to dedicate time to watch the entire course, and then that's when it would make sense to start asking questions. So. Sweet, Daniel. Super happy to hear that. Yeah, I don't trade SPY like ever, right? But we saw that overall market conditions were not the best, and it did push up. If I'm not mistaken, it's up as of right now. It's just, yeah, it's been very inconsistent. So as of right now, yes, it is trying to recover. I would just be quick to like lock in profits, especially with these like consistent change of patterns. If you see it trending above the SMA line, it does a pretty healthy, it tends to have a pretty healthy pattern. But once it becomes like really overbought and really overextended, which you could see around these general areas here, you could quickly identify these reversals. So again, just identify a pattern, and if it makes sense to you, it's something that you could probably follow through with pretty easily. So looks like natural gas is still getting rejected as of right now. It's direction. So again, I look at like NASDAQ ETFs or NASDAQ futures, right? ETFs. So you could look at overall like TQQQ, or you could look at SPY and try to get a better understanding of the direction for the day and stuff like that. And if you're struggling to identify the direction and which way it's going to be going, then don't trade it. It's that simple. Like if you don't know if it's going to be going up for the day or down for the day because of the data that you could analyze and it's not clear enough for you, then simply don't trade. Hey, what's going on, Simon? What's up? What are your thoughts of the Fibonacci lines in technical analysis? We have a couple members that use them. I personally don't. It's all preference. I use the MACD, the VWAP, the EMA, the SMA, and the RSI. There's people that don't use them or don't find them effective. So again, to each their own. Are you planning to take a position on UGAS? I have an open position on UGAS as of right now. I'm down on that one. That's why I'm watching it. But again, the way that I see it right now is just based on the current pattern of where it's been at, right? Not the 20-day analysis, but with the 5-day, 5-minute chart. I guess it's more relevant to just like the 2-day, 5-minute chart pattern. We could see like the low points, we could see the overall high points. Based on recent patterns, it makes sense on why it can bounce here if the reversal happens today. And if you go on the 180-day chart, then you could see the overall. Why is this so hard to see on this? On natural gas, you could see that this overall ascending support with this horizontal resistance that has the potential to, start to trend up and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting a little bit more on that. But again, my opinion means nothing, right? So if you don't see the pattern, or as of right now, it's DGAS that's bullish. So I still did a very poor job getting into ticker symbol UGAS. And I was actually up on the position right away. So this is pretty much like when I decided to get in. So let me show you, where was it? It was after a second bounce. After I broke a little bit under $1,200 profit. Yeah, so it pushed up. I locked in profits. It sold off. It bounced off the middle VWAP. I thought it was going to be a change of direction. Again, didn't get the confirmation, but I thought it was going to be a change of direction. It bounced. I bought some at the dip, and then it broke above the EMA line, and I added more to my position. It hit highs of 150, and I was about to lock in profits. I was up like 150 on the open, so for that specific position. And then it got rejected, sold off, and then a huge red candle, and then just continuously made lower lows and stuff like that. So again, I thought that there was going to be a change of direction. I added more to my position on the EMA line. I probably shouldn't have. I was about to lock in profits just with the 100 shares that I had for ticker symbol UGAZ, and I didn't get filled. The volume was like really low, so I didn't get filled. It pulled back. I saw that to be a dip buy opportunity, and then it popped right back up. I bought more, and it got rejected again, and just didn't lock in profits. So, and the reason that I'm saying like this probably was not the best thing is, again, the SMA line was acting as a resistance this entire morning. Look, like entire morning, right? Resistance. So for me to do a dip buy here and then add more to my position here, great. This makes sense because I still have some distance, right? Some margin between the, where I bought and the SMA line. An attractive enough margin that might make sense. When I bought some here and then added more to my position here, due to the resistance that was still here, right? For me to think that it was going to change its direction without any confirmation, yet I added more to my position when something is so overbought, right? Like this was not a good deal. Look at the MACD. It was not a good deal. And that was my mistake. So that's what led to me having this, red trade. So, and it was not like, I'm not going to blame, it was my fault for being, and there it goes. Here we go. So natural gas rejected again by that overall EMA line. When you check the percentage, how do you avoid drawing the line? I press escape instead of clicking it to draw the line. So I just click, drag, calculate the percentage, and then click escape. DES pushing. Yep. Yesterday was one of the hottest days here in Texas this winter. Okay. Yeah, but Texas is kind of like exempt to, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Texas is the one that pretty much gives away natural gas, right? We're getting closer to March for natural gas. Yep. I mean, in a way we are, right? What's the funniest comment that you read? I don't know. Here in Canada, it's negative 11 degrees Celsius. My goodness. All right. Here we go. Yeah, still selling off. No sign of a confirmation just yet. All right. Oh my gosh. So Ricky, honest opinion, January 1st, I'm going to start flipping cars. Would someone like me benefit from the course? I think so. I think having someone to run and just verify that you're getting a good deal is worth the investment. And if it doesn't benefit you, then after 30 days, you have the option of asking for a refund. So I think as long as you have an open mind and that you're going to be active and you set time aside, I think, it's worth a try, right? It's as long as you're someone that's active and willing to work with our team, then that's what matters. Oh, wow. Talking about Caleb and Weston, I don't even know if I could share this, but Caleb, he's one of the mentors within Flipping Wheels, and he just told me that his little boy, Isaiah, is now getting rushed to the ER because he was shaking really bad and he hasn't been able to breathe for like 5 minutes. So, um, yeah, so as long as we could, for those that pray, if you guys could pray for little Isaiah, I think he's like 1 year, he's like 12 months or, yeah, 1 year old. So, but yeah. It's scary. Here we go. Natural gas about to make lower lows for the overall day. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll be sure to let Caleb know about all of your guys' best wishes. So, but I asked him if there's anything that we could do. I don't think there's much that we can do, like in person. So, um, yeah, that's what we're looking out for. So, ticker symbol AMD. Let's check it out. Okay. AMD with a pretty aggressive sell-off. AMD has been very inconsistent, in my honest opinion. You can kind of like guesstimate the low points and the high points, but it's been pretty volatile, which is not something that I don't know. After they have been it's been selling off since 32. It's been really like I think it's been very inconsistent. So I do see this to be somewhat of a dip buy opportunity. Let's just wait for the higher highs and a little bit more confirmation that we could see, signs of an uptrend or a confirmation of a recovery. As of right now, we don't necessarily have that. And also just find all these different indicators that might act as a resistance and just, set up a plan to see if it's going to be worth it for you. But yeah, natural gas, I think, just hit overall lows. Again, we're approaching this general area of support where it's bounced that before. We'll see if we could break above the EMA line. If so, great. If not, then, it's all good. But yeah, we'll keep up to date with that. So I've seen you usually placing a sell limit order instead of a stop loss. Don't you think that's a little bit risky for beginners? While yeah, so that's why in the course for Learn Plan Profit, Daniel, we've talked about setting up like OCO brackets. So if you haven't checked that out, feel free to check it out. That sets up a limit order and a stop loss or a stop limit, whatever it is that you want to set up at the same time. So yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, I would be very careful. And again, I'm in you guys right now. I would just be very careful with your entry point and make sure that, again, this is just a green candle. It's not higher highs. So that if you want to wait a little bit more for confirmation, that I just want to make sure that you guys don't make the same mistake that I did and get in at a very poor price point. So, yeah. I know, Ricky. It's all good, man. That's why we're here, right? Just need confirmations. Yep. Ticker symbol DWT. What's going on, Derek? Hope you're having a good morning. I like this. Okay, so it sold off pretty aggressively, built a pretty decent margin of potential profit, right? The 180-day chart is not in its favor. It makes sense on why this thing can continue to sell off. Same thing with the RSI. So again, just understand that that's not in its favor. If it ultimately, again, it doesn't mean that it has to. So again, be very optimistic about this. If it begins to make higher highs and you feel comfortable with the pattern, you feel comfortable with it bouncing off the EMA line and stuff like this, like it performed yesterday, then great. Just ask yourself if the margin of profit is worth it. Identify different series of resistance levels and see, and just be aware of it. That's all. I mean, you could really do it and prepare for it, right? So, but yeah. Your TOS is lagging. Okay, thank you. What do you mean by confirmation? Tal, higher highs. Again, I explained this all in the course. Let's see. Is there a way to have the VWAP disappear when you switch to the 180-day chart? If I'm not mistaken, it shouldn't. I mean, it's such a... I see what you're saying if you would want to remove it, but I know on the mobile version there is. I don't know if there is on the timeframes and stuff like that, and making indicators solely exclusive to them. Of course, Tal, it's all good. So DM, am I using Robinhood? No, I haven't used Robinhood since I don't know, the beginning of this year or anything like that. I was using it for to make YouTube videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I found that TOS is a little bit more just interactive and I think effective for a lot of our traders. So, and again, it's just preference. So if you like Robinhood, then all power to you. Ricky, do you mind telling me your thoughts on SureTrader? I'm thinking about jumping off of Robinhood. I've heard a lot of good and bad things about SureTrader. I've never personally used it myself. I know they're not based from the United States. So I would just make sure, again, just dedicate time to learn more about it, and don't be someone that is just guided based off one person's opinion, and just make sure that you understand, what it offers. Okay, so there's some delays. Thank you, John, for letting me know. There's some delays in the live stream. I do apologize. I don't know what, like why it's delayed a little bit, but yeah, I do apologize for that. Ricky, what's your opinion on trading futures? I don't know. I don't have an opinion based on trading them. I just personally don't myself, and that's just my preference. It doesn't mean that you can't. If you see value in them and you understand them and they work well for you, then all power to you, right? Are you getting your goals this month? So this specific week alone, I'm if I'm not mistaken, a little bit behind schedule for this week. Last week I did just fine to stay on schedule for the month, but this week I'm starting off a little bit slow. So I thought that with today I was gonna be able to get back at it and stuff like that. So I didn't even keep you guys up to date with my positions yesterday. I really do apologize. I don't know, for those that follow me on Instagram, you guys probably saw some things that we were up to. I think I had 3 meetings in the morning, and they took way longer than they were supposed to. And then right after that, we went to Scottsdale, and we went to go check out a car that we're looking at and stuff like that. So, and then we went to go check out, or Justin and the team went to go check out warehouse spaces for tech buds. And after that, it was like 7 or 8 o'clock, and I just came back super drained. Since we were up very early in the morning, I ended up losing like $300 or $289 yesterday. And I really, really do apologize for keeping you guys up to date, for not keeping you guys up to date on that specific trade alone. So, yeah. So thank you, Simon. I do appreciate it. Yeah, so I traded in the McLaren 570S yesterday. And we should have a video for you guys all in the next couple of days about the 720S. So, yeah. Let's see. Taylor, congrats on turning your old house into a dealership. No, it wasn't the old house that we turned into a dealership. We're still looking for warehouse space. Can I make natural gas do something now? Yeah, I would like for it to do something as well. Here we go. It's consolidating, so we have to give it that, right? So this overall line that you see right here is the line that you see on the 180-day chart that is acting as a support, right? So it's the line that we see right here. So again, I'm just trying to be patient for all those that are asking, why did I not cut losses and stuff like that? Again, it's based off of the understanding that the potential reversal could be happening soon. Again, I could have done a much better job and cut losses much quicker. That's area of opportunity for me again. So, but ultimately, I see DGAS to be a descending pattern with a strong downtrend, right? And overbought as of right now. So now just waiting a little bit more for a confirmation for this thing to start trending down. Blake, that's not how it works, right? You guys crack me up. Careful trying to predict reversals. Yeah, no, I agree. VNet. What's going on, JB? Thank you for posting it. And there's the sell-off. So I think that was VNet that you called out, right? Yeah, VNet, 180-day chart, strong downward pattern as of right now. No signs of a reversal. Yeah, natural gas just sold off very aggressively. So looks like I'm gonna have to cut losses on that one and call it a day. Wow. Yeah, that was really bad. Here we go. Overall, so there we go. I set these series of different alerts for the overall reversal. I kind of see a previous resistance right around here. Margin of profit when this thing, if it does end up reversing, is not too bad. So, something to be patient about. Volume is very low, strong downward pattern today. So I would really look out for that. And yeah, it's just doesn't look like it's the best time to buy as of right now for ticker symbol VNet. Here we go. Yep. I do see it. GNPR. Here we go. Okay, so as of right now, it's trying to show signs of a bounce around this overall SMA line. Based on the technicals, it got rejected around the SMA line last time, so something to look out for, right? So I would play it to about the SMA line around that general area, and if it continues to make higher highs, then you could always get back in with the understanding that this overall is sending resistance, or just look at a previous resistance and lock in profits around that general area. So yeah. VZ pushing up on the day. Thank you. Let's check it out. Wow. Okay. So this is one that we were actually watching pretty nicely. So, or pretty closely, pretty nicely. So I'm going to draw my alerts here, and we can simply follow up with it. Again, I would like to wait a little bit more for a pullback to just get in for a better price point. This one doesn't offer huge margins, but it's definitely not bad, especially if it completes it and continues to make higher highs and stuff like that. So just something to follow up with, or maybe just watch. Average down on you guys? No, that's not something that I do, but appreciate the suggestion. So can natural gas be working its way down to the 420 mark today when you look at the 30-day 1-minute chart? Okay, let's check it out. Um, 420. So that would be like down here. I mean, it's selling off, of course, right? But I think something that even on the 180-day chart, based off of previous patterns, it's been showing signs of it still somewhat making like higher highs as it's been pulling back. So I should have just watched, I think, the MACD maybe a little bit closer and not have gotten in so soon. Again, just DGAS was like selling off very aggressively yesterday. It's been very bearish. So I had the expectation that it was going to continue to be bearish as soon as the market opened. But no, it became very bullish and did very well. So yeah, the complete opposite of what I expected. I mean, I was trading like, DGAS all morning, right? So we got the $837 profit that I was able to lock in on DGAS, but and I was actually barely up anything on UGAS, but it's actually UGAS that's now bringing me down and holding me down. But again, it's the direction my entry point was really bad, and that's really just it. It was right here, right? So really bad entry point, and it just made sense on, like why that was not the best time to buy. So I try to catch it before the reversal. My mistake. It happens, and now I'm paying for it. So Ricky, in crude oil cases, which ticker would you focus on more, UWT or DWT? Let's see. So as of right now, just because this one offers a little bit more margin of profit or for potential recovery, it would make sense on DWT. But also, if you look at the overall 180-day analysis, it is making lower lows and lower highs, and it is much more on the overbought side. So it makes sense on why this thing can continue to sell off. So definitely something to take into consideration on why it can continue to sell off, which would then make sense on why not DWT to pay attention to, but UWT, since it's bullish on the day, although it's super overbought. This is kind of like Diaz, right? For /CL. I believe there's a crude oil. I'm not too sure. But yeah, although it's overbought, if it pulls back, then great. You'll know which one to go to. But as of right now, this one's the one that's really been pushing up. So yeah. So just got a nice little push on natural gas. Okay. I need to, what's it called? Let the team know about Caleb's situation. For those that are asking how much that I'm down, I just explained to you. I'll show you for those that want to see. So I'm down $217 on the day, and overall I am down 1,100 and whatever dollars on you guys. So again, it's something that I'm still holding. So yeah, I did a pretty good job building myself a pretty decent margin of profit in the pre-market hours, and yeah, that's something that I'll have to recover from. But as of right now, I need to figure out what we're doing with Caleb and his kid. So I really do apologize for the inconvenience, and I will keep you guys up to date. Again, we'd really appreciate the prayers for little Isaiah. So yeah, that's really just it. So I hope that at least during this live stream, you guys were able to, we talked about entry points, we talked about why direction is so important, false reversals, and getting into trying to predict, right? It happens to the best of us 100%. It's not something that's gonna, if that devastates you and you're just like, oh, I'm done trading, again, it's a mistake. We're human. We get caught up in the hype sometimes. I was doing really well during pre-market hours. I was up nearly $1,200 with relatively small position sizes. Not small, but not as big as I normally take them. And yeah, that's really just it. So again, just a simple little mistake. If it's a red day, it's a red day. I have a goal of the $20,000 for the overall month. I'm not gonna let it. If I end the month at $5,000 or $10,000, I mean, I'm already up to $4,500 last week. If I only make $5,000 more the entire month, then I end up at $9,000. I hope that no one's gonna feel bad for me. I am extremely blessed. Not an issue. A goal, something to work towards. It's not something to devastate you, right? So let's keep that in mind. Really, yeah. So for those that are asking what happened, I'm gonna have to keep the guys up to date or let them know. Caleb's son wasn't breathing, so yeah, we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Take it easy, team, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.